My name is Jim McKay. I'm the Chief Ranger here at Martin Van Buren National Historic Site in Kinderhook, New York. And we're here in the main hall of his home where we have a wonderful reproduction of his original dining table, which is a pretty unique piece of furniture. It was crafted by John Kovacic. He made this reproduction here for us, and John was absolutely meticulous and produced this reproduction with great fidelity to the original.
I think at one point it was taken apart, we had to number them, so yeah, if they're numbered, you're good. You just got to remember which end they start at.
And I've been involved in restoring, conserving, and reproducing furniture for the last 35 years.
He blames it on his mother that he got involved in antiques and furnishings, and he became a craftsman himself, and he made this reproduction here for us.
This is the first piece of furniture that I built for this building, and also the first really major piece of furniture.
All you're doing is holding it in place.
Okay.
I built other things before, but there is so much that goes into a table like this beyond just an apron, four legs, and a top. You've got the mechanical part of the table. Everything has to work together so that the table functions as it's supposed to. My interest is primarily in furniture of the late 18th through the middle of the 19th century. This table falls right into middle of that time period. You're dealing with the main section of the table, which probably dates to about 1815, and the extension on the far end, which could be as late as 1825 or 1830. It really is an icon of early 19th century furniture.
If you take a look at these two boards in particular, you'll see that we have a swirl and a knot here. And if you take a look at them, the boards actually match. They mirror each other. This was the next board out towards the outside of the log. Same swirl, same knot. You don't generally find consecutive boards anymore. You don't generally find things that were sawn out of a log and kept in order.
The standard of perfection that we've grown accustomed to in the 20th and 21st century is not a standard that was necessarily expected by an 18th or a 19th century consumer. They weren't dealing with plastics, and they weren't dealing with materials that don't respond to what's going on around them.
The little bit of unevenness that we're seeing here is actually due to a little bit of irregularity in the leaves as opposed to a problem with the leveling of the table. It's something which still, with the seasons, fluctuates in size and shape.
It's like the whole house.
Yeah.
The whole house does that.
Anything that's made out of wood.
If you work with wood, you just have to be willing to accept the fact that you are going to be able to shape it to a certain degree, but after you're finished with it, the wood is going to continue to do what wood does, which is shrink and swell, change with fluctuations in temperature and humidity, but as long as it remains reasonably consistent, it would not have been a problem for the owner.
Some of the chairs around the table are original chairs, and some of them are reproduction, and John actually reproduced the reproduction chairs as part of a later project after the table.
This was, if you take it from start to finish, about a 3-year project, and that, that's not 100% hands-on working with wood all the time. It's the process of finding the material, selecting material, doing a little bit of seasoning in the location where the table is going to be built. In other words, letting the wood get used to its surroundings, where it's going to be worked. I'm very happy with it, and in many cases, when I come back and I look at it again, it's sort of hard to believe that I actually did it. I don't know if I can imagine doing it again.
Great political luminaries like Henry Clay or Thomas Hart Benton, all of the the leading politicians of New York politics during the 1830s, 40s, and 50s were here. They all sat around that table and they tried mightily to come to a solution which would avoid war. The fearfulness that they had if there was a war. The table helps me to convey that emotion. The table is a wonderful piece of craftsmanship. It's aesthetically beautiful here, but also if you're not careful, you might learn something about American history.